Felicia Rashad, an icon, a legend, and a woman whose real-life story is far more layered than you might have ever imagined. We all remember her as Claire Huxtable, that flawless, no-nonsense mother from The Cosby Show who served us wisdom and wit in equal measure. But behind that immaculate television persona lies the tale of a woman who has waded through twists, turns, heartbreak, and triumphs that few truly know. From her unexpected childhood escape from segregation to a cultural oasis in Mexico, to the personal secrets behind her love life, to the controversies that would shake her professional sphere, Felicia Rashad's journey reveals a resilience and grace that only grow stronger under the glare of public scrutiny. And by the time we reach the end of this story, you'll come away with a deeper appreciation for an actress who refuses to fade away, no matter how turbulent the waters get. Born on June 19, 1948 in Houston, Texas, Felicia Ayres Allen entered a world already simmering with creative energy and artistic possibility. Her mother, the remarkable Vivian Ayres, was not just any poet, she was a Pulitzer Prize-nominated author whose literary works resonated deeply with scholars, poets, and readers across the nation. Meanwhile, her father, Andrew Allen, was a respected dentist whose professional accomplishments provided financial stability and opened doors to educational opportunity. But these shining credentials and accolades did not shield Felicia from the harsh realities of 1950s Texas. Legal segregation was entrenched, and the color of her skin meant that everyday life was punctuated with reminders of social inequality. From separate drinking fountains to the looming threat of racial violence, the environment in Texas was not the nurturing place her mother wanted for her children. Rather than remain and witness her children grow embittered or bruised by racism, Vivian Ayres made a bold and life-changing decision. She uprooted her family and moved them all to Mexico City. Many people thought it was a rash step, but Vivian was determined to place her children in a setting where they could explore their talents without the constant shadow of discrimination. In Mexico, Felicia discovered a new rhythm of life, one in which her dark skin was often admired, her culture was respected, and she felt a sense of belonging she had never quite experienced in the States. This transplanted upbringing would prove decisive in shaping Felicia's worldview. She learned Spanish, engaged with local traditions, and embraced the cultural mosaic that Mexico City offered. Years later, she would speak of this move as one of the most crucial and liberating experiences in her formative years. But life was not without its bumps. Her parents' divorce, which occurred when she was still a child, unsettled the household. Divorce in those days carried a stigma, especially for an African-American family striving to maintain appearances. Suddenly, her mother was a single parent, tasked with shielding her children from negativity, both within the family and in the broader world. Financial pressure was there too. Despite her mother's accomplishments, being a single mother raising multiple children was never simple, and Felicia was keenly aware that every choice, every sacrifice, was part of a larger plan to keep the family moving forward. This sense of determination and grit rubbed off on her. Even as a teenager, she possessed an inner resolve that would serve her well when she eventually decided to pursue acting as more than just a passing interest. She returned to the United States for her education, and one key milestone in her journey was attending the renowned Howard University. There, Felicia immersed herself in the study of theater, honing not only her acting skills but also a deeper sense of cultural identity. Howard, being one of the nation's most prestigious, historically black colleges and universities, exposed her to professors, mentors, and fellow artists who believed in the power of storytelling to reshape narratives and inspire future generations. This education was critical, as the 1970s film and television landscape was far from inclusive. Roles for black actresses were scarce, and those that existed were often narrowly defined or laden with stereotypes. So, rather than wait for Hollywood's approval, Felicia found her calling on the stage. It was in the bustling world of Broadway that Felicia first made her mark. At a time when African-American actors struggled for recognition, she managed to secure significant roles, performing in musicals and plays where she could fully utilize her commanding voice and elegant stage presence. A highlight was performing in Dreamgirls, long before the show would become a cultural touchstone for mainstream audiences. That early involvement in a groundbreaking production revealed Felicia's willingness to tackle challenging emotional material. She poured her soul into every line, every song, proving to both herself and her peers that she had the mettle to thrive in an industry that was often tough on aspiring black women. These years on Broadway weren't easy, though. There were times when money was scarce, auditions ended in rejection, and she had to question whether her dreams were truly attainable. But each setback fueled her determination to keep going. The turning point, the moment that propelled her into American pop culture consciousness, arrived in 1984. Producers were casting for a new show starring Bill Cosby, who was already famous for his stand-up comedy and previous television successes. In seeking a co-lead who could bring intelligence, warmth, and dignity to the part of Claire Huxtable, they found Felicia. Felicia. The Cosby Show wasn't just a ratings juggernaut, it became a social phenomenon. Audiences of all backgrounds tuned in to watch the Huxtable family navigate life's ups and downs with humor, love, and a healthy dose of discipline. Claire Huxtable, as portrayed by Felicia, was a lawyer, a wife, a mother of 5, and a woman who balanced it all with graceful composure and a razor-sharp intellect. She had a disarming way of putting people in their place without raising her voice. Week after week, viewers witnessed a portrayal of Black family life that was groundbreaking, refusing to lean on tired stereotypes, but instead showcasing a household that was affluent, supportive, and aspirational. It wasn't long before Felicia Rashad became known as America's Mom. Fan mail poured in. Women across the nation praised her for her representation of a strong working mother who retained her individuality. Men admired her commanding presence and sense of fairness. Children saw her as a maternal figure who dispensed wisdom without condescension. But as the years wore on, the Cosby Show's sparkling veneer would eventually crack. Bill Cosby, initially revered as a television patriarch and comedic genius, became the center of one of the most high-profile scandals in entertainment history. As allegations against Cosby gained momentum, the public watched in disbelief, questioning how this wholesome patriarch could have led such a double life. Felicia herself, who had formed a close working relationship with Cosby, found her loyalty tested. Her statements in support of him drew criticism, as some claimed she was turning a blind eye to the accounts of numerous women who came forward. Whether she was acting out of loyalty or seeking to preserve the legacy of a show that had meant so much to so many, her reputation took a hit among certain groups. Nonetheless, Felicia pressed on, maintaining that her experiences with Cosby painted a different picture than what the allegations suggested. Despite the controversy, her career continued to evolve. The theater never stopped calling, and she returned to the stage in various productions, earning accolades for her dramatic chops. Hollywood roles also materialized, most notably with her appearances in shows like Empire, where she once again portrayed a matriarch, this time with a sharper edge, and This Is Us, where her nuanced performances reminded audiences of her extraordinary range. She was no mere sitcom star from decades past. She was an actress who had honed her craft and continued to do so. But professional achievements are only half the story. Felicia's personal life has been a tapestry of love, heartbreak, and transformation. Her first marriage in 1972 was to William Bowles Jr., a dentist who seemed to be the perfect partner for someone whose father also practiced dentistry. Their union produced a son, William III, but it ended in 1975. Felicia later recounted the emotional blow she felt when her husband belittled her ambitions, telling her she was second string. That was a line she could never fully move past, and she knew the marriage had reached an irreparable gulf. Although hurt, she refused to let it define her or snuff out her dreams. Her second marriage in 1978 was an unexpected twist that caught many by surprise. Victor Willis, the original lead singer of the Village People, famous for hits like YMCA and Macho Man. The idea of Felicia, serious Broadway performer, tying the knot with the flamboyant disco frontman was a tabloid dream. The marriage, however, was short-lived, concluding in 1982 amid rumors of substance issues and creative clashes. Again, Felicia emerged determined to keep her personal struggles from overshadowing her professional aspirations, steadfast in her pursuit of meaningful roles. Then came the marriage that thrust her love life further into the public spotlight than ever before. In 1985, sports commentator and former NFL player Ahmad Rashad proposed to her live on national television during a Thanksgiving Day halftime show, presenting her with a ring that sparkled as brightly as the story itself. America was smitten by this romantic spectacle, and the couple became darlings of the media. In the ensuing years, they welcomed a daughter, Condola Rashad, who would grow up to become an accomplished actress in her own right. For a while, it seemed Felicia had found her real-life happily ever after to match her on-screen persona. But 16 years later, in 2001, the couple divorced. Rumors of infidelity and irreconcilable differences dogged the dissolution of their marriage, leaving Felicia once again on her own, albeit wiser and more self-assured. When she remarks, "I've been married 3 times, but I don't feel like I've been married once," she speaks volumes about the emotional distance she's had to cross in each of those relationships. Undaunted, Felicia continued her ascent. As the new millennium dawned, she took on roles that showed her versatility beyond the archetype of the strong mother figure. She stepped into dramas, comedies, and musicals, bringing her layered style to every character. She also ventured into academia. In a full-circle moment, her alma mater, Howard University, invited her to serve as dean of the newly re-established Chadwick A. Boseman College of Fine Arts. Taking on this leadership role allowed her to nurture a new generation of creatives, guiding them through the same halls where she once honed her own craft. Her presence on campus was a testament to her belief in the power of education, representation, and mentorship. Students, particularly those from marginalized communities, found inspiration in her story of perseverance, success, and a refusal to let any door remain closed. Financially, Felicia's fortunes reflect years of steady work in the entertainment industry, culminating in an estimated net worth of around $25 million. Yet despite her success, she's the antithesis of flashy. She isn't spotted on lavish vacations flaunting designer goods or photographed stepping off private jets. Instead, she maintains a low profile, preferring meaningful engagements, charitable contributions, and cultural advocacy. This quiet elegance has earned her admiration from fans who appreciate her choice to keep her personal brand focused on art, education, and social issues rather than ostentatious displays of wealth. However, it's not only her poise and financial savviness that continue to captivate the public. Even as the years pass, Felicia Rashad appears to defy time itself. She's aged with a grace that countless fans find nothing short of awe-inspiring. Whether it's good genes, a disciplined self-care regimen, or just an enduring sense of inner harmony, she has consistently radiated the same elegance she did decades ago. Photographs from her appearances reveal a timeless beauty, one that has matured but in no way diminished. Beyond her roles on screen and stage, Felicia lends her voice to matters close to her heart. She advocates for the arts and education, stressing their importance in nurturing creativity and empathy in young minds. She speaks out about the significance of historically Black colleges and universities, reminding the world of the critical function these institutions serve in empowering individuals who might otherwise be overlooked. And she never hesitates to champion narratives that highlight diverse perspectives, understanding that representation in media can transform cultural understanding. Yet through all these accomplishments and accolades, Felicia remains somewhat of an enigma, guarded perhaps, but never aloof. She has spoken openly about certain chapters of her life, while leaving other pages of her story deliberately obscured. In an era where every celebrity detail is mined for social media content, she has retained a mystique that piques curiosity. People wonder if she will marry again, speculate about new roles she might explore, and look for hints about what she plans to do next in her career. One truth stands above the rest. After decades in the spotlight, Felicia Rashad shows no signs of stepping into obscurity. She has lived long enough to see major shifts in popular culture, the explosion of social media, and the evolution of how we consume entertainment. Yet she navigates these changes with the calm certainty of someone who knows exactly who she is and what she has to offer. So what can we expect from Felicia Rashad going forward? Another unforgettable acting role that lights up our screens, a deepened commitment to her work at Howard University, shaping the artists who will go on to define the next generation of stage and screen. Perhaps a new love that prompts her to reconsider her thoughts on marriage, or even a foray into a completely uncharted field surprising us all once again. We can never be certain. But one thing we do know, wherever Felicia Rashad goes, she leaves an indelible mark, a reminder that strength, dignity, and unwavering self-belief can sustain a person through the shifting winds of time and trial. And now, as we reach the end of this journey through Felicia's life, it's time to hear your thoughts. Are you most inspired by her role as Claire Huxtable, her tireless commitment to the arts, or perhaps her poise in the face of public and private tribulation? Do you have a favorite moment from her illustrious career that still resonates with you? We'd love to know, so drop your reflections in the comments below. And if this deep dive into the life and legacy of an extraordinary actress left you wanting more, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what we have planned next because just like Felicia Rashad, we believe in delivering stories that keep you thinking long after the final credits roll.